It's very diverse. I think it has a very, even though it's very diverse, there's a lot of unity, I think, among our kids. They get along really well. It's kind of surprising because in a lot of schools you don't necessarily see that. The kids here really respect one another, and even, you know, kids with disabilities, physical, mental, etc. There's really like this tone of appreciation and respect for each other. And you know, I see that throughout my classes.
Like the fashion show I was in, that was the first time I ever created a collection of clothing, which is what I want to do for the rest of my life. If I didn't come to NUHS, I wouldn't know anything about what goes into putting together a fashion show. The Theater Guild show, all the stuff all the things I've performed in.
Well, I had an industrial arts license, which means that basically I was a shop teacher, and that enabled me to teach any one of about 15 different shop areas. In the Utrecht High School, I taught science out of license. I taught mechanical drawing, which is drafting. I taught woodworking, metalworking, jewelry making, wood shop.
Well, NUHS was like, for us, for me anyway, what students would think of going to college today.
After, I'm going to go to Brooklyn College 4-year, and I'm going to do my MD there. And, my bachelor's in science first, and then go to SUNY downstate.
I'm back home. That's what I always say to my students. I am back where I belong. There is so much, I learned so much from this. This is the school that actually helped me adjust to the American life.
I decided to come back to Utrecht High School because I enjoyed it here. I enjoyed the swimming team, watching them all the time. I swam in gym classes. That was one of the highlights I consider of Utrecht High School.
It's a much diverse environment, more than any other schools, and the student-teacher equality ratio and slash ratio is amazing.
I see myself walking down the hall or being in a classroom as when I was a kid, now being a middle-aged person. It's a transition that is ongoing.
The teacher that does Theater Guild is Miss Steinwise, and she's just an amazing woman, and she, like, you can't even describe her because she makes you feel so much better about yourself, and if you're having a problem, she's always there for you. So I think she's definitely I've never had her as a teacher, but just as the person for Theater Guild, she just makes you feel like a whole new person.
Upon me because the amount of work he gave was extraordinary, but in the end it was worth it because now I'm a better student, I'm a harder worker, and I think that'll prepare me better for college.
I live about 7 blocks from Utrecht High School where I grew up.
Teaching physics for the last 4 years, and so I get pretty much the best students the school has. Students are dedicated, students who make me feel good about what I do and they enjoy, and that's what it's all about.
My favorite teacher, I guess, was Mr. Meltzer, who was a history teacher back in 1956. I was sleeping in his class one day, and he said, Getz, what was the cause of the Boxer Rebellion? And I said, I don't know. And he said, I'll bet you know what Don Mueller was batting. And I said, 329. And he said, I'll bet you wish that was the time right now. And I said, you're right, Mr. Meltzer.
I find the students very warm, very approachable, very easygoing, very polite, very respectful.
That I think was unparalleled in many other high schools. It was a real family. And there was a closeness, a camaraderie with the staff that I look back to fondly. It was really a good time to be in the building.
At the time, they were great guidance counselors.
When I came to Utrecht High School, I was a child, basically. I was gullible, and here I learned what the drama of life is.
There's one thing about New Utrecht that makes people feel special. It's the fact that New Utrecht is not just a school. It's not just a building. It's a family.
Mr. Zambito also is a great teacher, and he does the international show, and he's working on a new talent show, and I've worked with him being the president of the committee. So I learned how to do certain things, like how to be a leader. I think I might want to be an Italian teacher, but I'm not sure.
The good thing about Utrecht is that Utrecht, the teachers are very friendly, so you get to you feel like you can just talk to them about everything, and there's a lot of teachers here that have pushed me and made me want to do more than I could.
I went here I went to college and I was sort of an anomaly, and it was kind of derisive that I went to college by the other students. At New Utrecht High School then, most didn't go. If they did go to college, they would go to Kingsborough. Kingsborough had very hard requirements. You had to have a pen. Now I'd say 90% do go to college. They're all very interested in going to higher education, and they're academically oriented.
And there's no one happier than I am to know that having been a student, a teacher, a coordinator, a U of T person, and in charge of pupil personnel services, nothing could have been more gratifying, because I'm sitting here today from 1971 till 2010. It's a long way in between, and I don't know what else I could have chosen that could have made more of a difference in terms of my fulfillment as a human being a teacher and an assistant principal in the school that helped me to learn the language that I've been using. And to me, this is the best that I could have, the most that I could have accomplished in my life.
I'm glad I came here. I would not want to be anywhere else in the world. It's great.
Okay, this ring is a connection between my past and now my present, because I'm a teacher here. It's the New Utrecht green and white. It has the Arista symbol on one side and the symbol for friendship and the year I graduated on the other.
I've matured since I was a freshman. I've made better decisions. I've gotten involved in the school. I definitely came out of my shell since I was a freshman. I used to be a shy little thing, and and I think I came out of that shell.
For me, this is something which I would have never, ever thought it would happen. I live in the neighborhood, and every time I drove by the school, my memories came back. But if an angel from heaven would have told me I would have come back and taught here, I would not have believed this. So for me, this is almost like a dream come true.
I was, you know, I guess the quote-unquote nerdy or smart kid. I was part of the academy, and I loved it. I think I got a really good education here. I was prepared for college, so that I really, you know, appreciate and I respect about the school.
I graduated, I was supposed to graduate in 1956. I was held back for bad behavior, good behavior. My wife Lois Kessler graduated in 1958. We attended summer school together.
When I was here, it was 98% Italian and 2% other, and all the kids tended to look, dress, and talk the same. The boys all had bomber jackets. The girls put on the makeup, and they all dressed the same way and spoke the same way. And there were rules for dating, and everyone was much more uptight and rigid, I thought. Now it's much more easygoing relationship among the students towards the faculty.
When I participated in Sing, which is the school musical, I made new friends. I got closer with friends I already had. It was just a great bonding experience I had with everybody in the play, and it was nice when we actually did the play and everybody came to see it. It was a really great experience.
A math teacher, Mr. Schaefer, and he was always very encouraging. It was a math class. I wasn't doing too well in math, but he was always making you feel like it's not, you don't have to be getting hundreds on your math scores as long as you really try.
I don't know, if I had a chance to do it again, I don't think I'll do it the right way or the same way, but I will do it in New Utrecht High School.
For those of us who are the 33% of us who graduated from here, it is a mission. We are safeguarding our building. We want to continue the tradition.
I know I'm definitely sending my kids here.
Really pleased I'm here. The reason I came here from Port Richmond High School was, quite frankly, I was tired of paying $10 to go over the bridge, which now I'm told is like $13, and it takes me only 12 minutes to get to my former high school, Port Richmond. Here, I can walk to school. I really enjoy that in the morning, and I really enjoy the student body, which I find is a microcosm of America. It's so ethnically diverse.
My grandfather went here, so I actually chose New Utrecht over Bishop Kearney and a couple of other private high schools because I got into the academy program, which was really prestigious, and I believe we still have it. And a lot of our kids go on to, you know, Ivy League schools.
So I applied to many different high schools, and New Utrecht accepted me, and I have to say that was the luckiest thing that has ever happened to me, because I've enjoyed every moment here in this school.
In my book, Brooklyn Boy, that if school started at midnight, I would have been a straight A student.
it's a place that I'm proud to be in.
I'm really gonna miss Nietzsche when I graduate.